Okay, so today I wanted to briefly address how I work around the heel area on a lot of my custom builds. Talk about the tools I'm using and the use of some hand machinery as well as some lighter grade equipment. So I started off with this bad boy. I used to use one that was called a Lancelot. Basically, it was a 4-inch disc with a chainsaw blade attached to it, and it was crazy dangerous. I shied away from it because not only could it really just maul your hands, but you wear a guard around this for that particular one, but it would have a tendency to remove wood in a very unpredictable fashion, especially on wood that is, let's say, as curly as this, which has a very grain direction throughout the length of the wood. So I switched over to this one. I can't remember the name of this one, but this one's like a little porcupine. It would still do some damage, but it wouldn't hurt you as bad as the Lancelot. But this thing here is nice to make transitions, so I'm only able to get so much of this done. I use my overarm router, and I have a shaper pattern that I use for the contour of the neck. And then I have to stop because obviously it transitions into the heel or into the volute up towards the headstock. So I will start with this one, and I will basically get in there and use the radius to create the shape or the dishing in the transition between the neck and the heel. After I have gotten down to the point where I'm not going to spend all day with a file, I use this really nice random cut file. I've had this thing for 25 years, and this thing still cuts. It's Japanese. They make the best files. They make a lot of really good tools, especially when it comes to woodworking and hand tools. But this cuts randomly. It doesn't leave tracks in the wood per se. It's a very random cut in the sense that it's really easy to get all that stuff out with a scraper or with sandpaper on blocks. So usually what I'll do is I'll get down to this and I'll grab my scrapers, and then I can take that and actually draw, and these will leave nice little curls. And rather than dealing with a whole bunch of sawdust in an environment where I'm oftentimes painting, I find that these larger curls are a lot easier to clean up. They don't put as much dust into the air, and overall just a little bit better for my paint job. So I have the scrapers. This one's kind of cool too. It's got a little concave and a convex surface on it. I can bring that and draw that over top of this. This convex one can be drawn cross grain in here, smoothing it out before you go to sandpaper. And then I like to use a couple different methods of sanding. I'll put 180, 150 on a piece of steel, and I'll go in here and I'll actually start rasping this stuff down prior to paint. So that's the arrangement of tools that I use and the progression of which I will use them when I'm crafting a neck and heel area. I like to start off with something that's going to remove as much wood safely as possible, and then get into hand tuning it with the rasp, sandpaper, and scrapers. So have at it. We'll see you next time.